Now we have our princess and her slippers on the ground at Walt Disney World. Thanks for listening to episode 51, where we transport Lindsay to the happy place and we go Geekin on Walt Disney World. Welcome to episode 51 of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. This is your co-host, Curtis Stone, fresh back from a trip to Walt Disney World, where I drove my daughter, Lindsay, down to Disney World from Connecticut to start her Disney College program. And I just got back last night into what was supposed to be a blizzard here in Connecticut. It is blistery and cold. We did have plenty of snow while I was away. I had to unbury the driveway and my car and put a battery in it. And I am glad to say that that is all taken care of. And I can introduce this next episode, which is going to be a live recording where I brought my recorder down to Disney World and we talked into that recorder all week long, and I hope you enjoy this. This is going to be part one. I did quite a few recordings and document the entire trip. So here we go. Without further ado, this is February 2015 trip down to Disney World, staying at Pop Century, and this is Lindsay's beginning of her Disney College program. Enjoy. Okay, here we go. It is
almost 4.
Welcome to another episode of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. This is your co-host, Curtis Stone, and I am here with the smartest, cutest, sweetest daughter in the world, Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Yes, this is a very special episode because we are actually in the car. It's now 5 minutes to 4 in the morning. We just left Torrington, Connecticut, and this will be a special episode. Sorry for the car noise because we are driving in a white Chevy Spark and feeling every bump in the road as we make our way down to Walt Disney World from Connecticut. Lindsay, the GPS is telling us that we have how many hours to go to our hotel for tonight?
13 hours right now, but the GPS on my phone says 12.
And all right, yeah, the GPS here is telling us we got 13 hours to go?
Yeah.
And we are approaching Waterbury, Connecticut right now. Funny enough, there's a few cars on the road at 5 minutes to 4 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I love, Lindsay, that I got in the car this morning. Two things. First of all, we had our car serviced or inspected, if you will, earlier in this week, and you have an iPhone app that tells you different...
I have the OnStar app.
Oh, it's an OnStar app that tells her, well, for one thing, tire pressure, and the tire pressure was all down 8 pounds. So I had to get up this morning and put air in our tires. But beyond that, I get in the car, we're all packed and ready to go. I look at the gas gauge, and I've got a quarter tank of gas. But luckily enough, there was actually a gas station open on East Main Street in Torrington, Cumberland Farms, and we filled up the gas tank. $12 of gas for our Chevy Spark. It gets 32 miles to the gallon, so that's the good thing.
Yeah, and that's just city, too. That's not highway.
Right. That's the city, and so we'll have no problem gas now. We're going to make our way. We're going down I-95. And, well, first we're riding down Route 8 South, and then we'll get on 95 on the coastline of Connecticut, which will ride us all the way into Florida. And we'll be riding over the George Washington Bridge today in New York, hoping that the traffic, by the time we get there, New York is about a 2-hour ride for us, and at 6 a.m. in the morning, we should not have any issues getting over the George Washington Bridge. Hopefully. And yes, we are really excited. And what I'm going to do, this is going to be an audio blog for the entire week. I'm going to hit the record button every day, and I'll record what happened since the last recording. And in previous times when I did blogs, I would record on a notepad or my iPad every evening or morning.
But now we have a podcast.
So yeah, with the podcast, I thought we'd do an audio blog, and I hope to actually have started this before I got in the car so you wouldn't have the engine noise.
Yeah, you're going to have it later anyway.
But yeah, well, we'll see how this turns out, and then when we get into the hotel and we'll recap. I mean, there's not going to be much to talk about driving 13 hours in the middle of nowhere.
Hopefully there's something to talk about.
But that's what's going on. This should be fun. We're going to document this trip, and Lindsay will be working, though, starting Monday.
Yes.
And I don't know how much time we're actually going to get with her this week.
Yeah.
We'll get her settled in on Monday into her apartment, I believe. She's going to have some orientation, or she doesn't know much of anything. Yeah, check in and like that. Margita Mama will be flying in on Sunday, and with her sister Renata and Lauren and Megan will be coming in from Boston, I believe Sunday also. Yeah. And Megan's actually going to surprise Renata. She doesn't even know that her daughter, her second daughter, twin daughter, is actually flying down to meet them. I think she's kept the surprise.
Yes, she doesn't know.
That's awesome. We'll have 2 rooms at Pop Century. And hopefully Monday, Lindsay, you'll be in your apartment and meeting your roommate. Have you had a chance to talk to your roommate yet?
I've talked to her a little bit. She seems very nice, and I can't wait to meet her.
Talk to as on the phone?
Not yet.
Not on the phone. Oh, we don't talk on the phone these days, right?
No,
It's all.
I have her text. I have her number, though.
You have your number, and you've been texting her.
Yeah.
And it's just one roommate you have, right?
Yeah, we were only allowed to request one because we're one of the latest arrivals. There's only 2 more arrivals after us, so the dorms are pretty much filled up.
Sounds good. All right, so we are making our way into Waterbury now, and we'll be talking to you guys real soon. I hope you enjoy the ride. See you, cousins. Welcome back, cousins. This is Curtis Stone, and I'm on day 2 of our trip report to Disney World, where Lindsay and I are driving down to Disney World from Connecticut, and we had a great day yesterday. Today is Sunday, I believe it's February 8th, and we are in the hotel. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Lindsay's taking a shower, and I've already taken my shower, and let me recap the day that we had yesterday. Got up at we got out of the house at 3:30 in the morning, started driving down Route 8 South in Connecticut towards I-95, and then spent I-95 the whole rest of the day until 8 o'clock at night. That is a personal record of driving for myself, and I must say I did a really good job. And we only had a couple close calls on the road. I guess they say flying is much safer than driving, and I can attest to that, although the traffic was very good and light, and we got through New York and the George Washington Bridge with no problem, no miscues, and no traffic really to speak of. The big close call was in Newark, New Jersey, very early in the morning, which would have been about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, when I did see this fast approaching car coming on to me, and there was a car in the right lane, and I was in the center lane. And this car, I thought, was going to slam into me coming so fast. Had to be doing about 90 to 100 miles an hour. And I swerved to the left, and luckily he went to the right in between the 2 cars and did miss us. And that kind of scare that really shakes you up happened there in New Jersey. And really no other incidents. It's kind of funny, the little Spark car has a very small engine, so I think we filled up the vehicle about 4 different times and started making our way. So we did have several stops. The GPS was saying that we would make it in
about 5:30, and it ended up being about 8 o'clock at night. So we rode from dark to dark. But that is great because now it only leaves us 5 hours we're seeing on the road to get us into our hotel today. And I just want to mention that a couple of the big things that were going on that we enjoyed on our trip, listening to music, besides just listening to music, and it is, of course, kind of a boring trip flying down the East Coast of the United States, but Lindsay was really excited to see a place they call South of the Border. And for about 100 miles, very often you'll see billboards, and Pedro is advertising this place called the South of the Border, which is right over the border from North Carolina to South Carolina. It's famous for selling fireworks, and these are the real fireworks that go boom, not like some of the ones they sell up in Connecticut that just do sparkles and pops. And I remember stopping there with the kids when we were young, one of our first or second trips to Disney World, we drove down, and we were not that impressed with South of the Border. It was actually quite run down, and Lindsay had said that she thought that it had been worked out a little bit or fixed up a bit, and it really did. It did look a lot better, a lot new paint, and it looked fresh and clean, not like I remembered it. And we had some fun in the gift shop. There was like a Myrtle Beach kind of gift shop there where I collect refrigerator magnets that have like bottle openers, and so I bought a couple of those. Lindsay got a couple things with this Pedro guy they show big billboards of, and that was a lot of fun. We also went into one of the fireworks stores, and believe me, it's like a warehouse of fireworks, and if I wasn't flying back on the plane, I might have considered picking up some of those. All right, I just had to pause there. If you heard, Lindsay's alarm just went off so that she made sure that she would wake up. And she is still in the bathroom and in the shower getting ready. Well, we stopped at lunch at a Subway, which was very nice. It was totally empty, but we had a nice chance to sit down, and I love Subway subs, and that was very good. And on our way down, we were going to stop for dinner about an hour and a half outside of our hotel, and we ended up stopping. We went into the Sonic, and we sat. Now the Sonic, they don't have them up in Connecticut, to my knowledge, or anywhere close to our house. And they're always, I've seen them advertised, and they look kind of fun. There's like a drive-in where you pull up to a screen, and you can order your food there and pay for your food there, and they'll actually take it out to you. And it was, one thing that's been really fun is watching the temperature gauge rise. And so when we started from Connecticut, it was about 5 degrees. And when we were stopping by the time we got down to North and South Carolina, it was in the 60s, early, 61, 62 degrees. But we pulled up to the Sonic, and we sat there and looked at the menu for about 10 minutes, I think, before we decided, I really don't want to sit in the car and eat. I'd rather go to a restaurant and sit down, even if it was, Lindsay doesn't want to do a McDonald's, but a Burger King or something, just so we can get out of the car and stretch our legs and eat. And so we pulled out of there, didn't end up buying anything. And Lindsay found on the iPhone a Cracker Barrel down the road, a piece from there, which wasn't that far. And what a great choice that was, because the Cracker Barrel is like home-cooked food, kind of like Mama would make, and fried chicken. And it's got a gift shop in front, and they have a fire going there. It's a very, very homey kind of place, and very famous along the roadsides in the United States. We saw a couple of them on the way down, and I've eaten there before, and the one we went in, they're identical to the one I've seen before. And the wait staff was awesome. I mean, I feel like, I was telling Lindsay, this feels like actually kind of a Disney experience. The people that sat us were very nice. We had a 20-minute wait, and I said to her, it looks like we have a lot of locals going here, and I bet the food is very good. And not only was the food good, but it was an amazing value in that it was $20.79, I think, for both of our meals. Left a nice tip, and it was just a great experience. I really enjoyed the wait staff that were there. And I had a pastrami Reuben that was very good with sauerkraut, lots of cheese, toasted, and I had some big steak fries and some coleslaw. And Lindsay, they had she wasn't really sure what it was, but it was a 4 veggies that she could pick. They had lots of vegetables to pick for. I think she had a sweet potato. She had the steak fries, and they also had macaroni cheese on that. And I think it was a cauliflower and broccoli little bowl that she had. So she was really full too. And that was great. But when we got out of there from dinner, it was dark already. And we still had an hour left to go. And that was a tough hour with it being dark and you're getting those reflectors in your eyes. But I held up. I'm really pleased. Held up really well. By the time we got to the hotel, we were tired. And which was nice, Mama set us up with this Holiday Inn Express in Walterboro, South Carolina. And we've stayed at the Holiday Expresses before. My wife and I stayed there, I know, once before, and we really liked them. They had great ratings, and it's a nice place to stay. The 2 big old queen beds, and it's a nice place. It was packed too. I didn't have hardly any place to park. It was so packed. There was a little bit of police action next door at one of the little gas stations, and there was 4 or 5 police officers there. We were so tired we didn't pay any attention. We pulled into our hotel, checked in, and definitely within the hour, we turned on the TV, but made a call to Mama, but we were out sound asleep. Had a really good rest, and we are actually getting ready to roll. They have a nice breakfast here, continental breakfast. I took a look. It's supposed to be open at 6:30 in the morning, and they have everything out there already except for the eggs, and we can eat and be on our way. And according to the GPS, we could be there by noontime, of course, if we don't stop, but we'll probably make a couple stops. One other comment down here, the gas prices in the United States right now are amazing. It almost looks like a misprint. And right outside this gas station here, I looked at this morning. I went out there to pick up my recorder from the car, and the prices are $2.05. And I think I saw $1.99. I think we paid $1.99 at one stop. Amazing, low cost to drive all the way down to Florida right now, and big incentive. So that's it for that trip, the first day, and we are getting ready to start the second day. And we are getting excited to pull in to Mickey's vacation home because we know he's a big Hollywood star. He was born and lived out in California, but we're going to his big old vacation home, and we will be there today, when we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye. Okay, this is Curtis, and I am back to recap this trip we are taking right now. And it is Monday night at 7:20 in the evening, and we are in the hotel room at Pop Century. And today I'm gonna cover day 2 and day 3. And well, day 2 was definitely a day of firsts. And I'll explain as we go through this. But 6:30, had our breakfast, and Lindsay and I were on the road by 7 a.m. And it was kind of funny that the night before we had our dinner at Crackle Barrel, which was about an hour from the hotel, which was a Holiday Inn Express. And when we left the driveway of the hotel, we looked across the street just before getting on I-95, we noticed a Crackle Barrel just across the street. So we could have had dinner right near the hotel, but that's okay. We got on the road. We had about 5 hours left to get into Disney World. Got the GPS all ready to go, and I drove for a couple hours, 2.5 hours or so, and then we got some gas, and I decided to let Lindsay drive, and she ended up driving for about an hour. And then when we got onto I-4, we switched drivers, and I took us through Orlando. Orlando was
pretty much full of traffic. It was moving along, but it was crowded. And they were showing a little accident up ahead, but it was cleared by the time we got there. And then we cruised into Disney World, where we proceeded to go over to the Pop Century. And the first of first, this is the first time ever staying in a Valley Resort and the first time at Pop Century. And I drove over there, checked in, and then from there, we knew we had some friends that were over at Epcot. So we drove over to Epcot, and we met up with Christy and Andrew. It was fun because it was Andrew's birthday. I think he's 17, and they are friends of ours from church, so it was really cool. They were over at the land ride, and we met up with them and had some lunch. And over at the Sunshine Seasons, what was kind of, again, the first for me was the first time using the meal plan. And I got to tell you guys, it's been a little bit awkward for me. I'm like a fish out of water, don't know what I'm doing with the meal plan. And I picked up something to eat there. I think it was some kind of Chinese meal, if I'm remembering right there, but with rice. And then the woman said, well, you can have a snack or a dessert and a drink. And I had already picked up a beer, and I ended up paying for the beer and getting, I think, a chocolate milk to go with it. But I had to, then people were waiting in line for me as I was making a second track back to get that extra stuff. And figuring out the meal plan has been kind of fun. After that, we went over to do Figment, which is one of Lindsay's favorite rides, when we went with Christy and Andrew and their family. From that, then we broke up with those guys. We said, parted our ways and thanked them. It was fun meeting up with them, but we didn't want to keep this was their last day on vacation. They were leaving the next day. So we went over to check out Canada, and Lindsay wanted to walk around the Canadian Pavilion, and we wanted to see the movie, and I'm glad we did. We haven't seen the movie in a long time. It's a whole circle theater. It's a really good movie with Martin Short. He's really funny, and I enjoyed that. And then another first that I wanted to check out was the Scottish folk band. I forget the name of the band. I don't have it in front of me. First time getting to see them. That was kind of fun. They were really good. They have a fiddle player and a guy singing, playing guitar, and a little girl with I don't call it a drum, more like a tambourine kind of thing with a stick, whatever that is, and then a flute player. And they played some instrumentals, and I really enjoyed them, and Lindsay did too. After that, I had seen a Camaro coffee travel mug, or I would say it was a Chevy, and it was a big one. That it was like clear, and a very large one. Up when we were up at the place for dinner the night before, and I said, I bet they have that over at the Fast Track. So I went over there, and I was amazed they did have it, and they had one with the Camaro logo on it. So I really liked that. It was $25, and then I walked up to the cashier. They asked me if I had a DVC or annual pass, and I said I have both, and thank you for the discount because I got 10% off. So that was fun. I was glad that he asked, because I always forget to get my discounts when I buy something. I don't know. It seems to always slip my mind, but I was glad he reminded us. From there, Lindsay and I, we drove over to the Magic Kingdom, and we had some fast passes over there. We were planning on meeting Mama and her sister and her two daughters over at the Polynesian for dinner at Kona. But first, we had some time over Magic Kingdom, and we walked in. Lindsay wanted to check her cards for that game that they play over at the fire station. And I was over there. There's a barber shop that is right in the corner when you first walk into Magic Kingdom on the left-hand side. And I didn't get a chance to get my hair cut before we left. And I had planned to. My mama usually cuts my hair, but didn't get a chance. So I asked if we could maybe get an appointment for later in the week, and she said, well, you can call this number. She gave me the phone number, and I walked out, and then I said, it dawned on me, it seemed kind of quiet there right now. So I said, we had about 40 minutes to go before a meeting with Mickey Mouse we had a fast pass for.
a meet and greet with Mickey Mouse, and which is right across the way there. And I said, okay, well, let me see. And she said, well, let me have your name. And I think I was like maybe the third person on the list. And lucky enough, they were closing in about half hour. But I was able to get in there. And a very nice lady named Lori, we had a nice chat, talked about Lindsay's internship, and talked about what it was like to cutting hair and all kinds of fun stuff. She was really nice and really enjoyed that. She really buzzed my hair. I have really short, and she asked me if I wanted some pixie dust, or what they call for guys pirate dust, and put that on my hair. We had some fun, took some video. That was really cool. So there was another first. I got my haircut done at Magic Kingdom. I'm glad, nice and short now. It was starting to get beyond my ears. And then we get another first. We go over for our fast pass, get right in line for Mickey Mouse. And the reason it's the first, I did get really nice a meeting with Mickey and Mama a couple of years ago. But this was before the talking Mickey, and now his mouth moves and he talks to you, which was really fun. And Lindsay and I had a great time. He says, hello, pal, and can I get a picture with you? And we were telling them how we were in the Disney College program, and he said, congratulations. And I like when he's taking his picture, we were watching a bunch of people before us saying cheese and Limburger and mozzarella, and he was just a lot of fun to meet Mickey. I highly recommend doing that if you get a chance, and do a fast pass for sure. After that, we took the monorail and went over to the Polynesian to meet up with Mama, the nieces, and Mom's sister for dinner. They were having getting ready to sitting down, and they were really excited to see us. Mom missed us so much. She was kind of in tears because she spent the night at home all alone, even without the dogs, and because they were at the kennel the day before. So she was excited to see us, and we had a nice drink before our dinner was ready. We had about a half hour, and they were ready pretty much right on time. Kona was very busy, and the Polynesian overall was very busy. The lobby now is, of course, all done, and all the walls are down that were up there last time in September when we were here. And we were starving. And it was kind of funny when they brought over, one of the things we like at Kona is I think it's a pineapple bread or a sweet bread. And they give you this macadamia macadamia nut butter. And we had like 6 loaves of it. We were just woofing that down like we'd never eaten before. I had a nice steak. Mama got the scallops, I believe, yes, and those were really good. And just had a nice dinner, and then we were basically done. Came back to the room, and we were hoping to see The Walking Dead, but we got back, I think, a little bit too late to catch that, and a little bit too early for the next round, so I basically fell asleep. And then the next day, for Monday, it was all about getting Lindsay over for her first day in the Disney College program. And so we got all dressed and ready to go, got over there, I think it was like 7:45 this morning, and got into it's like a little area where some of the kids stay there, apartments. And Lindsay went over to get her room assignment and her job assignment while the parents get coffee and sit and wait. And it was only for like an hour, so it was pretty good. And we were texting her all along. I can't tell you what we were doing there because it's kind of a surprise for Lindsay, but we were able to see which apartment complex she was in, and she was very excited because it was her very first choice, and she got the one that she wanted, which one of the reasons that she wanted that one, it actually has a laundry right in the room, washer and dryer, and it was it's very nice. She actually learned about her job, and then when we first heard what her job was, which she texted to us, and she is going to be in the parking area over at downtown Disney. And it's a little bit disappointing at first because we were thinking that she might be in a park for her job, but she's not. And she was not disappointed really at all. She's keeping a really good attitude about it. Other people said that she will find that the people over there are really great and get along really great. So we will find out. After that, we went over to the apartment and found her room. She was the first one there. She's going to have 3 roommates, which, of course, by now she's met. And we unpacked her. She picked the bed that she wanted. She picked the room that she wanted, which was really great because she had a huge walk-in closet and a little vanity and sink there connected to the bathroom. So there's 4 girls are going to be in there. It's a nice living room. It does have the laundry and kitchen, little counter space there. It's very nice, and she's very pleased with that. And luckily enough, her roommate and her roommate's mom, who's going to be in her room, came in, got a chance to meet them, helped them unpack, and they were all set. Unfortunately, they had a little bit of trouble with their car, so we thought that a good place for them to take the car would be over to, there's a service center it's right in the near Magic Kingdom, and it's on property. And we said, she thought it might be the tire, but I took a look at the tires, and they look good. I think there might be a wheel bearing issue going on there. I got to circle back and see how they made out going over to the car care center, they call it, right next to the Magic Kingdom. And hopefully they found that issue and took care of that. Meanwhile, Lindsay drove us over to the Magic Kingdom and dropped me and Mom off. Lindsay had a 1 o'clock, they had to do a drug test at 1 o'clock. I'm not sure what else they were doing, but that was her appointment. And Mom and I were hungry again. We get over to the Magic Kingdom. We went over to Sleepy Hollow for the waffle sandwiches. I had the sweet and spicy chicken sandwich, and Mama had I think it's a ham and prosciutto and cheese waffle sandwich, which was really good. There was a little castle show going on at the time. There were some really cute ducks with the little mallards with the green heads. They remind me of my dogs. They sit there and beg for food. And a young family there and their little girls were having fun feeding the ducks right next to me, took a bunch of pictures, and then they came over to me after they had left, and they were begging for food. Just their little eyes reminded me of my dogs. And speaking of our dogs, they are in a kennel for the week. We've used them a couple times before. They sent us some really cute pictures of the dogs having fun with other dogs, and they're looking like they're having a great time. The bulldog and the 2 labs look like they're doing just great, so we're really pleased with that. Meanwhile, Mom and we went over to do a fast pass for Buzz Lightyear, where I barely beat her out at the final couple of scenes there. I got over 100,000. We rode the TTA, Tomorrow Transit Authority, which we love. And then the big surprise for me, which is something I always wanted to do, and again, talking about first, we went over to the laugh floor, which is a favorite of ours. And I know Lindsay had told me there's usually one particular place they always pick what they call that guy. And they have fun with the guests who come in, and they show you up on the video screen for different things. And I was featured as that guy, and I must say, I think I was a very good that guy, because I made tons of facial expressions and really hammed it up. Margita tried to get a picture of me, but it came out kind of blurry, and they were kind of making fun because she was fumbling around the camera trying to get my picture, but it was a lot of fun and a big surprise. Now, there was rain promised in the forecast for about 3 o'clock, and at this point, I think this was just after 1 o'clock, so we thought we had some time. We had a fast pass for Pirates of the Caribbean. We went over there. We rode that, and we got really stuck there for quite a while. The ride just totally stopped. And then when we did finish and get out of there, the rain had already started. And unfortunately, we didn't have our ponchos with us, which were back in the room. Although Margita reminded me, my poncho was already splitting like a V-neck, which probably wouldn't have been very good, and I would have had to get a new one. So we bought new ponchos, and we waited out a little bit, but we ended up walking out in the rain and headed on back to the room. And it's kind of interesting going to the Pop Century, taking the buses. They are huge buses. They're like double buses. And we packed into there and made the ride back to Pop altogether. Not too bad on the bus.
there was another cute family there we were talking with, and that was all good. And basically just got back to the room and didn't really want to go out. It's kind of cold and wet. Went over to the food court to get something to eat. I had a beef brisket sandwich and some chips, and again fumbled around with the meal plan, trying to figure out the drink. I get a drink, even though I have the mug. You also get the mug, and I could make my own drink, but I got myself a chocolate shake and an ice cream bar. And it was really cold and wet coming back. Luckily, I kept my food dry. I came back here, and Mom wasn't feeling all that great, but we're just hanging in the room because of the rain. And hopefully, the weather's actually going to be, it's funny how they're calling it cold when it's going to be high 60s probably the rest of the week. But I think that is it for now. So that is capturing day 2 and 3. And tomorrow, we may see Lindsay tomorrow. I think she has some work activities, but we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we're going to hit the parks early in the morning. So talk to you later, and we'll have some more fun. Goodbye. Well, hello, cousins. This is Curtis Stone again, and I am actually up early morning. It's about 6 a.m. I've already taken a shower, and we are on our 4th day. It's a Tuesday, and what I thought I'd do this morning as I get up to go get my coffee is explain what the Pop Century looks like. I'm standing out front of the 50s building. All these buildings are of different years, and we requested the 60s building, but I'm at the 50s building, and that way our 2 rooms are adjoining that we have with my sister-in-law Renata and her daughters. But I'm standing in front of this huge jukebox, old-style jukebox with the songs written on them. Everything is all big here, and they have a lot of cool sayings on the buildings. They've got a big bowling pin here. I'm walking past the pool, and it's kind of in a long, looks like a bowling pin actually. Oh, I think it is a bowling pin. I just noticed that. It was kind of funny last night when I was going by the pool and it was raining. They had the 2 lifeguards were out here, and they were still watching the pool in the middle of the rain with nobody in the pool, and they actually bobbed their head across the whole pool still looking for people, which is kind of interesting. And it was cold, but this morning it's 60 degrees and it's still dark out, and I think we're going to get up into the high 60s, maybe the way it is right now. Maybe it's going to be into the 70s. I hope so. Hope the sun is shining and we have a nice day. We're planning on going over to Epcot this morning and doing the extra magic hours, hoping to get up on Soarin'. But anyways, I'm making my way over to get a coffee at Pop Century, and I'm walking past right now. They have everything large, I was saying, so they got 2 of the dogs from Lady and the Tramp, who are humongous. They go up the entire size of the buildings, and these buildings are 1, 2, 3, 4 stories high. So very interesting. We got a little winding path here that makes our way over to the main building where the courthouse, that's where the food court is. Yes, let's not forget food. Oh, over here to my right, I'm looking at an Imperial, what do you call that thing? The Duncan toy that you spin, and that's a huge one there. But anyways, the Pop Century is sort of interesting, right? I'm used to staying at the Deluxe Resort in my DVC, and trying out the Value Resort. The beds are, the good thing is just Margit and I, they're kind of small. They're not all that comfortable, but good enough. I slept really well, and we both get a bed to ourselves so we can spread out pretty good for big people. And this is the type of place, I think this is the commando headquarters, where you don't really stay in the room that much. You go out and you enjoy the parks, and it's fine. The bus ride was not too bad. Only 1 stop. Big old bus. We'll try it out for Epcot this morning. As I make my way to the main building here, you got the big numbers on the side of the building, 50s and 60s. The 60s are in
the tie-dye. It looks really cool. I like that. I don't know if the 60s rooms are much different. There's not that much of decorations in our room that I can tell. It's pretty value, but that's okay for this trip. This trip is just about Lindsay getting her all situated in her room and her job. We might meet up with her later on today. The food court, I don't know, it was okay. I mean, it is what it is, but the coffee's pretty good. It doesn't say that it's Joffrey's on the side that I noticed last night, but I thought it was pretty decent. No problem. I'm going to go over there, have myself a coffee right now. And I think that about gets you caught up, and then we'll talk to you later today. Goodbye. All right, I just got out getting my coffee, and I thought I'd take a walk over to the main pool here. This is in the center of the resort, right outside of the food court. Big old pop sign out here. And this one looks like, almost like, it's not really a shape of a Mickey, but it's kind of a amoeba-shaped pool. Looks pretty low. The interesting thing here at the pool, besides the fog coming off the pool, it's nice and there's a little breeze here. It's not too bad, I'll tell you. For someone who's just came out of the Northeast in Connecticut with all the snow they're having and really low temperatures, this isn't bad at all. In my shorts and t-shirt, just ran into a guy coming in. He said to me, he loves this early in the morning. He says in a couple hours it's going to be total chaos, so it's nice and quiet there. Get my coffee, and the staff says hi, very friendly, and I love that. Okay, one of my favorite characters here, though, over near these buildings alongside the pool. Oh, this is a nice area that has the pool, and this is the 60s. Oh, this is the 60s here, too. And it's a big, big area. You could look out your room at the pool. This would be a nicer place, I think, actually, to stay. But far out, it says up on the buildings, happiness. Can't see it all because of the palm trees. But Baloo, my favorite character, and his little buddy here, and they're huge, the same size as the building. I love that. I'm going to get a picture later on when it's not so dark out. And they got some Play-Doh with a elephant and giraffe sticking out the top of it. That's really cool. The other thing I wanted to mention, last night when we were over at I was inside the food court, and the song The Hustle was playing. They're playing some classic music here, obviously, for pop. And the staff came out, and they were doing the Hustle dance. And it was kind of fun watching them do that. It would have been cool if some of the people got involved with it. And, of course, I was too hungry and had food on my mind, but I didn't get involved. But now that I know that they do that, maybe I will next time. That was very interesting. And I'm going to make my way back to the room. I got my coffee. See if Mama is getting up. She does. I don't want to get up and get a shower. And we're going to get on over to Epcot for that early bus. And hopefully open up the park over there. So I just wanted to make that couple mention. And then I think what I'll do is tonight I'll recap the rest of the day. All right, see you later, cousins. Bye. The button still messed me up. All right, we're waiting out here in front of the Epcot ball for Spaceship Earth, and Mama is getting all excited to go. What are you going to do today, Mama?
Well, I think right now our priorities are Spaceship Earth and Test Track. I think probably head to not Spaceship Earth, Soarin'.
Yes.
Head to Soarin' and then Test Track. But it doesn't look like there's too many people here. We're at the front of the rope.
Yeah, look like we're going to have the whole park to ourselves.
It's going to be a gorgeous
day.
day.
2 crazy girls are going to run you over.
Oh,
we have 2 crazy girls with us here.
All right, where are you from?
Seattle.
From Seattle. We're from Connecticut.
What are your names, girls?
Domini. And Brenda.
We are from the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. So you can go on iTunes and see us.
There you go.
And then maybe next week you'll hear yourself talking.
All right.
So what are you guys doing today?
We might want to apologize up front for running you over then. Now that you've got our name.
Now we have you recorded. What's your email address? So, what are you guys doing today?
running around and hitting everything.
She's never been to Epcot before.
Oh, awesome.
I plan on eating my way around the World Showcase.
How about drinking?
Hold
Are you old
on.
enough to drink?
Let Mama make her suggestion.
Yeah.
Mexico opens at 11. The best frozen margaritas. You will not regret it. Just one. And then go about your own.
Then you'll be good.
Yeah.
You'll be good for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Have you been to Epcot before?
In second grade.
Oh, wow.
5 years.
Wow, we got some beginners here. That's awesome. You guys are going to have a ball today. Well, so what's the priority today?
She's an ELL teacher, so the
I
World
work with
Showcase
immigrant
is
students from around the world, so I'm really excited about the World Showcase.
Yes. Do you speak different languages?
Spanish.
Spanish. All right. Well, you definitely got to go
But
see Mexico.
I'm up in Microsoft territory, so I get students, families that come from all over the world.
All right.
I'm contracts with Microsoft from Saudi Arabia and Japan and South Korea and
very
Egypt.
cool.
I'll tell you, the college kids that are working in the pavilions they're a little homesick, so they love speaking. If you can speak in their native tongue, so go inside and speak to
You're
the
gonna have a lot
kids
of
that are
fun.
working in the Mexico.
Eigo hanashimasu ka? Eigo sensei.
All right. You're going to, I love, World Showcase is my favorite for Walt Disney World, easily. And you guys are going to really enjoy that today.
I'm excited.
All
A
right.
lot of pictures for that one. Show my
So what are you going to do? Do you have a priority here, what you're doing when we get out of this gate?
Characters.
Characters.
We heard there's
Character
supposed to
spots.
be, the best
they-
place
I
to
would
get pictures
say
of characters.
Right
That's
now,
it.
you're going to do that?
Yeah.
Well, we have fast passes for a lot of the rides.
Yeah, what do you have Fast Pass for? Do you have Soarin' Fast Pass?
Yes, and
Mission.
the test track and the mission space.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So you got your, that's good. Those are the big attractions
We
here.
do have a second day coming at Epcot. This isn't just one day. This is our first. But we're good.
All right.
We've
So,
been soaring in California.
Oh, okay.
Disneyland. That's
so you get to
we go
compare.
there once a year, so that's
you-
our park being on the
You go to Disneyland a lot. Okay. So how long you been here so far?
Day 3.
Yeah.
Day 3. Where are you staying?
The French Quarter Hotel.
French Quarter. Nice. Very nice. We're at Pop Century.
Mardi Gras. It's Mardi Gras.
Yeah?
Just
That's
recently.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Today.
Do they have anything special going on over there
do.
for today?
They do.
We have a Mardi Gras party.
They have a little Mardi Gras party band parade little thing. In their
Oh,
little,
that's
yeah.
so much fun.
It's kind of cool. We're getting dripped on by the ball. We got big little spots that are dripping on us. Yeah, it's crying. We're dying to get in. Yeah, so what we do, our strategy for the beginning, we're going to head over to Soarin' because we won't have to wait in the line. If you go over there now, you could get on it. It's a walk-on.
Right.
If you wait, then you got to have a fast pass. So, and then we're going to go, where are we going? Test track?
Test track.
All right.
And get those out of the way.
Okay.
We have a fast pass for the Seas with Nemo.
Okay.
Do that, very cute.
Yeah.
And then I think we have one for Spaceship Earth around 11, and then we'll head over to
Mexico.
Margarita
We'll have our nachos and margaritas. I hope the sun comes out here, guys. It's a little cloudy here right now.
Said it was going to be
It's in the early 60s. Well, they're going to get ready to open up here pretty soon. So it's fun talking to you guys.
Great talking to you.
All right.
Listen
Have
to
fun.
the podcast
Yeah.
next week.
Geekin on Walt Disney. I'll release this on Monday. Yeah, this will be Monday's episode 51. So go out to iTunes and check us out. All right. See you later. All right, we're here at Soarin'. We're on row 1, and we are getting ready to go on our flight. You can hear the music playing. Mama, did you like meeting Dan? We saw Dan back in September.
Yeah, and I think he was pretending to remember us too.
Yeah, it's
Dan
hard.
from Syracuse, New York. Yeah.
Right, he's retired, and we recognized him right away, but he didn't recognize us. You know, when we're famous with our podcast, people are going to walk up to us and go, "Oh, we know you because we listen to you." We get that sometimes on the podcast where we interview someone, and it's so cool to talk to you, like we're some kind of celebrities. But we're getting excited for our flight here pretty soon. What's this guy's name? Putty or Patrick?
It's Patrick Putty for all you Seinfeld fans back in the day. Yep.
And we had a little bit of a wait here after the run with the Bulls. We ran with the Bulls to get here through rope drop, and a little bit of wait, but I don't know why they're slow getting started, but we're sitting here waiting. We'll turn on the recorder when we get in, and you can listen to the music when we have our flight. All right?
Perfect. Here we go.
Okay. All right, we're walking through the queue in Test Track, and Mama wanted to I don't know why you want. Why did you want to record?
We're going to see. The posted wait time was 30 minutes, so we are going to see how long it actually is. We're a good way into the queue so far.
We got stopped though.
We're stopped, so we keep a track of that. It is about 8:45 now, and I have a feeling we'll be on by 9. So, and also, Mama thinks that the music in the queue is really cool. I really enjoy.
You have the CD?
We have the CD. I bought it at our last trip, and it's kind of updated to include new music from the new test track and a few other things. Oh, the Be Our Guest area at the new Fantasyland. But I really like the music in this test track queue. I think it's very upbeat, and it's just plain old cool.
All right, we saw the concept cars. We got past that. Now we're making a turn here, and we're looking at this really sleek-looking model. It's like a clay car, I think.
And they add projections to it, showing the designing process. Very interesting.
Somebody has to draw it. Someone has to detail it. It has to be engineered.
Whenever you put a car together, you've got all these different surfaces. If you look at the body side of the hood, there's main slabs, there's secondary surfaces, there's fillets. There's different surfaces.
It's moving along very nicely.
Yeah, we're slowly making our way in, and looks like we're coming into the room just before we design our own car.
We are probably, I don't know, what would you say, 50 yards maybe from the doors.
What kind of car are you going to build, Mama?
You going to let me build it this time?
Yeah, you can build. We could get our own, I suppose, but why don't you build it?
I always like the heavy-duty, high-tech SUV type of vehicle.
So,
and I know you like to build like a Camaro type of speedy car.
Yeah, so we're not building it for speed, we're building it for utility.
Well, you may be able to get some speed out of that thing. You'd be surprised. I came in second or first in many of the tests as we went through with my souped-up SUV. We'll see.
Well, what are the tests that they do? It's not for speed, it's for what?
Capability, efficiency, responsiveness, and power.
So we're not going to win on responsiveness, I take it.
I don't know.
Or efficiency. Maybe power or capability. Is that where we're going to win? Well, we'll see. As Mama designs her car. And we are getting texts from our nieces, I think.
And our daughter.
And Lindsay tried to call us. It's now about 8:45 in the morning on Tuesday. And we're checking our phones to see who's trying to get a hold of us. No one else could get out of bed in time to go with us. And I know Lindsay's got a meeting this morning at 9 o'clock for work. Oh, and we're going to give her a call.
I'm going to see if I can get a hold of her. Okay, everybody. It said a posted 30-minute wait, and we made it to the studio in 5 minutes. So that's why I always like to get in line. If it says 30 minutes or less, I think you got a good shot of getting up here pretty quick, right?
Right. And they got us on a number, 2 to a dot, so that means we're going to have to build our car together.
Right.
They're forcing us to do it that way, and that's fine. We're just waiting for the doors to open, and then we are going to design our car.
Yes, we are.
I hope.
Vroom, vroom. Or zoom, zoom.
Okay, this is Curtis, and I am taking a little stroll through World Showcase, walking through England right now. Maybe you can hear the music playing, nice and soft and low. And Mama and I just had some fun. We did Nemo in the Seas, went over to the aquarium. It was kind of fun because we got a chance to see the sea turtle who was eating his romaine lettuce. Very, very cute. Love animals, and he was cute. Unfortunately, the manatees were not out. They had promised they'd be out in about 10 minutes, and they never did show up. And after that, I was really hungry, so was Mama. But first, we did a fast pass over on Mission Earth, or Spaceship Earth, and that was really fun. We recorded our little health travels there, and now I'm actually going on a little bit of a reconnaissance trip. Lindsay's supposed to be joining us in a little while. It's about 10 minutes after 11, and you might be wondering, well, why aren't we doing margaritas at Mexico? But what we're going to do first is wait for Lindsay, and then we're going to have some margaritas. And then I think we're going to do lunch at Morocco because we never did that before. But I'm going over to the beach club because I tried to get a fleece jacket, a DVC fleece jacket, but they did not have it at the Mouse Gear. Well, here's Tinkerbell taking pictures. Hi, Tinkerbell. But I am walking through the gates in a minute. First thing I'll look in this little shop. Okay, I stopped in a little World Traveler shop, but there was nothing there. Mostly Epcot stuff in there as far as clothing. And they are very nice. I like that design, but I'm on a mission to see if I can get myself a fleece DVC jacket. And it's a little bit chilly here. Funny, I'm a northerner, but I'm feeling the sun is out now, though. And it does feel really nice when the sun is out. There's some clouds, but it's still a little bit chilly. And if we're going to stay here anytime later today when the sun goes down, it will be chilly. And I planned on buying this fleece jacket for the trip this time, and now is as good as time as any. Not too far of a walk. We just had a delicious cronut over at the station just right when you walk into World Showcase. We were the only ones there in line. We both got ourselves a cronut, and I thought they used to have glazed. She said, no, that's a New York style. That's fine. I could swear they had glaze before, but she was a college student just starting. I don't think she knows that they used to have them there, and I swear to that. But we had the sugar one, and it is so good. It's a little crispy on the outside, and it's gooey a little bit in the middle, and I swallowed that down with no problem. And now I'm making my way. I just got through the gates, the back entrance, or exit, if you will, this time, and I'm walking up to the boardwalk. This is one of my favorite walks in all of property on the way to the beach club, Yacht and Beach Club, and I don't hear the music really playing. I thought they had little speakers over here that's usually playing. Barely can hear, and I hear a little bit of traffic. The wind's blowing, but we're gonna make our way up over the bridge here. And again, this is one of my favorite areas of all Disney World. It's the boardwalk. And to the right, you have the Yacht and Beach Club Resort with the pool, beautiful pool in the middle. Out in front here is the dolphin that everyone says looks like a big fish. And the swan to the left of that. The dance hall, Atlantic Dance Hall, and Jelly Rolls to my left. You've got the boardwalk resort, and of course Flying Fish over there, and we have the ESPN club. And this isn't too bad a walk. I thought this was going to be a little bit farther, and I'm trying to keep my inflamed heel from hurting. I took some aspirin this morning, and it actually is feeling pretty good. I'm going with flip-flops, which surprisingly enough is better for my heel, which I have plantar fasciitis. Any of you that have plantar fasciitis know how painful that can be, and it was quite painful yesterday, but today so far it's doing a-okay. And this is not a bad little walk to get over to the beach club, and we'll go into the gift shop there because they do have a DVC here, and that usually means they'll have some DVC gear, and I can go and check that out. All right, here I am. I'm coming up to the beach club. Nice light blue Cape May, New Jersey style, which is fantastic. And now I can really see the whole lake with the lighthouse and the Boardwalk Hotel across the way. Some people here on the beach with some seagulls. And again, it's a little breeze going, a little chilly. It's in the low 60s this morning, and but it's pretty pleasant compared to 5 degrees up in Connecticut. All right, I'm gonna shut off the recorder for right now, and then I will let you know how I make out finding my fleece. All right, I am back from my trip into the Beach Club gift shop, and I did find a fleece. It was a little bit tough for me to make the decision, though, because I was expecting the dark blue DVC fleece, and they have light blue, which is just like the color outside here on the Beach Club buildings. And I had to go out and give Mama a call and say, what do you think about me getting a light blue? But I did find a 2X, and the zipper is a little bit difficult to deal with, so I think maybe I'll just slip it off when I'm done and I don't have to deal with that zipper. But I ended up going with it. She actually went out back and went to see if they could find a 3X, but the sleeves are plenty long enough. It seemed a little bit short, but not too bad. And if I don't like it, I think I'll give it to Mama. Anyways, but I got my 10% discount with my annual pass. I could have got 10% off with my DVC also. But that's cool. I've got it, and it's a little lighter than I thought it might be. It's not as thick as some of my other fleece, but I think it's perfectly suited for today's cool breeze. And then I'll make my way back over to Epcot through the International Gateway entrance. And it is beautiful. The sun is out. There are some clouds, but the sun is out, and it's feeling nice and warm here in Florida. And now I think I'll head on over to Mexico for a margarita with my sweetie, and maybe Lindsay will be there by now too. She had some kind of casting call this morning. I think some training relative to the housing situation or information, and she is done. She should be meeting us here over at Epcot and can spend the rest of the day with us, so that is awesome. And we are going to my favorite place in all of Disney World, which is the World Showcase, and looking forward to trying lunch over at Morocco. That is, if I don't fill myself on margaritas and nachos too much in Mexico. But this has been fun recording. I hope you enjoyed some of the people we interviewed already. I hope I got them recorded, and we will see. Maybe we can do some more of that later on today. Otherwise, I will talk to you cousins later. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. That was part one of the live recordings of our February 2015 trip to Walt Disney World, where we dropped off Lindsay for the Disney College program. And we will continue on next episode. I will have Tim Brooks. Lindsay and I interview his November 2014 trip report down to Disney World. But then after that, we will continue adding some more of those live recordings, and you can live Disney World through that trip. And I hope you enjoy that. And we will be talking to you guys real soon. Just remember, you also can be on the podcast. All you got to do is contact me through the Twitter at Geekin on WDW or through Facebook. There is a Facebook page, Geekin on WDW. And there's the website or email you can contact us through. It's kurt.stone at geekinonwdw.com. I hope you guys really had some fun with that, and we will be talking to you real soon. Have a great magical day. And before I forget, you can be a real pal and go out to iTunes and give us a 5-star iTunes review. Lindsay and I would really appreciate it. It helps get our show out there to more folks, and we can make more friends. So please do that. And again, we'll see you real soon. Take care.